Once again, PSA, this is a sales pitch for the character, and this is not a guide or a comprehensive guide of how to play the character. There's plenty of those. I think Tiny Torg probably has up-to-date guides. Go check them out. Anyways, this is a sell pitch on the character. It's the character for you. I'm not going to tell you how to do combos. I'm not going to tell you, strats. Maybe I'll mention something here or there, right? And that's in the vein of a guide, but it's not a comprehensive guide of how to play characters. Alright, so Majin 21, former top 5 character in the game, got nerfed, right? Because she was too bad. I know, I'm wearing pink today in honor of what they did to my woman. I loved her. And then they just blasted her. I can't believe it. She got nerfed, but other characters stayed the same. Mad weird. I don't get it. Majin 21's archetype, I would say, is similar in the same vein as Vegito. She's an all-rounder. She can do everything, right? She has full screen pokes, right? An amazing ki blast that has priority, right? She has a ki blast priority. It's great. So a lot of characters lose the neutral war against her, unless you're another 21 or you're another Z-Broly. And she has this ki blast as well, right? She has it all. Grabs for mix-ups as well, right? The shoe fits. She can wear it. Well, in this case, she's wearing stilettos. Herba, remember, she's bad. All right, now that I got that out of the way, okay. She's an all-rounder like Vegito, but she's a little bit weird and awkward for 2 reasons. One, the steal system, right, where she steals certain moves and techniques from the opponents, depending on if they're human, alien, Saiyans, things like that. I'll get into that later. Again, she has the highest ki blaster ability in the game. Loses to characters like Z-Broly, Vegito, just because of the angle he can approach you at. I might be missing a character here, but yeah, she's very good at controlling the screen. So she's an all-rounder, right? Great screen control, great full screen presence, right? Great buttons at the mid-range, She has grabs for mix-up, right? She has, I wouldn't say the best get-out options, but she has an option to surprise you from the air, right? That's not super dash, which is dive, which has a pretty good angle, Anyway, so yeah, you kind of have to have a brain to use 21, because you have to know when to use her full screen stomp as opposed to her regular stomp, right? Because there's no in-between stomp like Kid Buu. She has 2M and 3M, that's it, right? You don't get anything in the middle of this. This does track for the most part where you are, right? You can be too close and accidentally get it, you whiff, and then you die, so keep that in mind. Very important that you don't use 3M and then die at close range, or you need to use 2M. Oh yeah, she doesn't have a sliding knockdown. I cannot think of another character that does not have a sliding knockdown. Because the only sliding knockdown she gets is from the grab, right? But it's more of a soft knockdown than anything, really. Not necessarily a sliding knockdown. It's a soft knockdown. You don't get much off of it. They recover very quickly. The only way she can sliding knockdown is off of DR. And then that's it. That's really, I mean, you could do dive, but even then it just gives you a knockdown, and then they can tech however they want. I could be wrong. There could be one other character, but yeah, she's a little resource heavy, right, when it comes to playing her, because if you want to get the knockdown, you have to spend a bar, right? You get the hit, whatever, right? You dive to make sure to get him out of the corner, Dragon Rush after the vanish. It costs a bar. So she's very resource dependent, and it's one thing you have to keep in mind, that she may be an all-rounder, but she's expensive. I mean, it makes sense. Look at her. She only wants the highest quality of life. You're a bad bitch. Look at her. I don't blame it. I understand. She wants things to be spent on her at all times. Anyways, I'm acting up over here. Oh, Majin 21. It's like if Kid Buu was still good, man. Oh. Okay, I just had to say that. I had to get that out of here. Maybe that's why I like her so much, because she kind of reminds me of Kid Buu with some of her moves, right? Especially this move in particular, and like an actual good command grab. So yeah, again, screen control very good, full screen low. You can't really beat this, right? I think the only other character is Gogeta with his whole ass 2M and Kid Buu with 3M, right? Not many characters have full screen low, so again, screen control is immaculate over here. Her grabs are for mix, said that. Yeah, alright, so now that we're out of grabs, let's talk about, I guess let me pick the different characters that give her different grabs, right? Actually, I have them right here. This works out perfectly. Okay, so there's 4 categories to her grabs. Now you're like, damn, there's 4 categories. I gotta remember all this. Well, it's not that hard to remember, especially if you know Dragon Ball characters in the lore and like what race they are, right? Simple. They're categorized like this. There's blue steels. They come from humans. This is the only bit that gets confusing, okay? Goku and Gohan are considered humans because Goku considers himself a human. But when they're fused, right? So let's say you have, of course, you know, we gotta say Gotenks because Gotenks in there. Goten is in there, right? That's a Saiyan steel. Okay, they're considered Saiyans there because they go off of Trunks or Vegeta's side, right? Vegito is considered a Saiyan, right? Gogeta and the other Gogeta are also considered Saiyans. You know, they don't go off of Goku's side there for some reason, which is great if you're a 21 player because Saiyan Steel has the best steel in her entire toolkit, right? But we'll get into that point when we get there. So anyways, Goku's a human. He's blue steels. You get, here, let me just put them up real quick. God bless training mode options. You get C steels from humans, which is pretty, solar flare is good, right? You can use it as mix if you have the air solar flare. You can use it as an anti-air. It's pretty safe on block if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's very safe on block. And the range is pretty nuts on it. And again, it's you can use it as mix if you can knock down your opponent. You used to be able to do it after her level 3, but they nerfed her level 3. I cannot believe they did my girl like that, bro. I am so tight. You used to be able to do this, right? And you could get a left-right from it, but then they nerfed it because you can no longer get a knockdown. Okay, after that are the yellow steals, right? Again, best steals in the game right here. You get them from Saiyans who, you know, of course, straightforward at this point. You just got to remember, Goku is not a Saiyan, and neither is Gohan. Yes, this applies to both adult and teen Gohan. So Nappa, T-Broly, all types of Vegetas, all the fusions that have Saiyan in them, right? Trunks, you get these steals from them, and they're the grab is the best steal in the game, easily. The grab is easily the best steal in the game. Well, at least the air one. Due to the fact that it is an anti-air, right? Boom, you get the air one, right? Your opponent super dashes at you. Oh wait, hold on. Ugh. Your opponent super dashes at you, and you don't miss the grab because I'm bad. Oh my god, come here! I'm trying to teach a lesson. Anyways, you grab them, then they proceed to explode, right? If you don't drop the combo. And then the next grab you get is Ki Blast Barrage, which is okay. I mean, it sets up. You can bait people with Ki Blast Barrage and do this to them. Yeah, so you could just bait them into throwing them, right? If you do this first. It's great. It's incredible. You know, you've probably seen this happen in tournament. And it's frame 1 invincible. And then they proceed to explode afterwards because the scaling on this move is great. Damn. This is so sick, bro. I'm sorry. It's just so great. And then you get the steal back, and then it's just fantastic. This is great scaling for just only a throw. Only a throw that's pretty good, and you get the steal back, right? So it's a lot of management. You have to remember which throw you have and what it's bound to, right? Because you could forget, like, oh, do I have the air one, the ground one? Is it the quarter circle back or quarter circle forward one? So you got to remember what you're doing here. It's the one thing. It's not that hard once you get used to it, but the first couple days it can be a little weird. So if you like that awkward, I have to remember all these little things, character might not be for you. You could find it annoying. But if you're like, oh, this doesn't bother me too much, you know, I like this. I have to manage your resources and remember what goes where. You know, then more for you. The green steals, which are steals you get from androids, right? Again, like I said, there's 4 categories. Of course, an android is straightforward, right? So yeah, Cell falls into this category. Lab Coat falls into this category, right? These steals aren't bad. I used to think green steals were the worst steals in the game for her, but realistically, they're not bad. Having a barrier is always a good option, especially if your opponent is, you know, like Baby, right? They're just chucking shit all over the screen, you know? You could barrier up, get a bar real quick, right? Because it gives you a fair amount of meter. I only got like a quarter meter, but it's better if there's multiple things on screen. But anyways, yeah, you get meter, you get a reversal option, right? A bait option, you can whip something huge and throw out barrier, right? So you have to learn all these different situations depending on which steel you have. So again, there's a lot of thought process going on here. So if you like being more big brain than your opponent, depending on what to use in one situation and how you feel it out and things like that, Majin 21 is for you. If you just want to hold forward, go play Gogeta Blue, right? Go play Vegeta. Those characters are for you. I got videos on them talking about them, but she's a little bit more big brain, you know? A little bit, you know? You gotta use 2 brain cells instead of 1 this time. Twice the effort. Moving on. Finally, the last one is aliens. Ugh. I think these steals are. This orb is actually kind of broken, in my opinion. It's literally Piccolo orb assist, but with 21. These orbs, this is so good. Oh my god, it's Piccolo's orb, but with 21. You know, a character with way better neutral, right? Way better payout, things like that. And then of course she gets to teleport, which helps her mix, right? Like she already has decent mix, you know, with grab and just you can make your opponent block, right? And then you could do, let me grab something shorter. You could do the cross up in 50-50, right? She already has strong options, but now she has even better options if she has the purple steals. Purple steals, which you get from aliens, you know, Frieza, Cooler, Piccolo, Beerus, right? Characters like that. Just think, oh, who's left? Kid Buu, Hit, right? All aliens. You know? They give you the purple steals, which again, I don't think there's a single bad steal. I used to think Android steals were terrible, but the more I played her and the more I got used to them, I was like, oh, these aren't bad, actually. You just have to know how to use it because every steal has a use. Just up to you to figure out when, where, and how to use it. And again, her teleport steal changes depending if you do it on the air or the ground. If you do it in the air, she lands on the ground. If you do it on the ground, she's in the air. So it lets you air dash, lets you land, to do a quick left, right. You know, it's very visually distraught to look at. So each steal has a use. And finally, the last thing about steals to remember is that when you have steals, her EX orb gets better, right? Whether it's hit stun, block stun, it's plus 20. Let me get closer. So yeah, all 4 steals, you're plus 20. If you have, if you only have 3, you're plus 15. I think it's 5 frames per steal that you're plus. Yeah, up until you get down to 1 steal where, or no steals, then you're plus 1. You're plus 1 with no steals. So they do more damage, they add more hit stun, and they add more block stun, right? Obviously, if you have all 4 steals, you know, you're gonna make your opponent explode. Simple bread and butter, and you're exploded. And then they also add more hit stun too. So in times where you could not do orb into level 1, if you have 2 or more steals, the hit stun lasts so long that it goes into the level 1, right? So they're still being hit by the orb when they get hit by the level 1. So it lets you use EX orb at hit stuns where they should literally flip out before the super can hit after the orb. So that's another thing to keep in mind, right? Oh, how many steals do I have? I have 2. I can EX orb for extra damage and then level 1. But if you have 1 steal or no steals, you can't do that. So again, you have to use your brain for this character. So much damage. It's for half a bar before even touching your opponent. Yeah, they're exploding. But you have to be mindful, right? You only get 1. After that, you throw all your steals away. But again, though, you know, you can convert off of this from very far spaces. Even full screen, but you kind of have to be nice with it. Ugh. Granted, it scales as a light starter, but still, you know, it's huge. It covers a large portion of the screen. I mean, look how big it is. Granted, the hitbox isn't the whole orb. I think it stops like in the middle of it, maybe. It might be like Z Brawly's Eraser Blow, but I don't think it's whole. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong. But this shit taller than cooler. A reminder, right? Well, Mr. Streamer, it's so hard to get all 4 grabs to land. How am I gonna get all four steals? Easy. You just level 3. Granted, they got rid of the Oki, and this used to be with the best level 3 in the game. Not the best level 3 in the game anymore. But you can still use it to get the skills, right? They butchered this level 3. I don't understand the reasoning behind it, right? You don't even get a safe jump anymore, which is absurd to me. You just RPS, baby. What do you do? What do you do? But this is how you get all 4 steals very quickly. So anyways, point being, for 21, again, she's an all-rounder. You basically do everything. She doesn't have an escape option though. That is the one thing. That is the one thing. If you have barrier, you kind of 4-frame reversal, right? But other than that, level 3 or block. It's not like Vegeta who has EX command grab or baby, right? That's frame 1. If they jump at you, you're out, or you might grab them. You know, it's kind of like, okay, I have to kind of sit here and block and deal with this. You know, you're not Gogeta Blue who can just bust out DP and then spark or whatever. You know, if it hits or doesn't, you don't get spark. But she's good at everything else. She's good at screen control. She has mix. She has grabs. Right? She may lack a sliding knockdown, but she builds so much meter that doesn't really matter. She's self-sufficient in that knockdown, and she's meter. What? You know what? Here, let's just look at a simple combo, right? How much is a simple combo build? Whoops, I said that's too early. A bar and a half. So you're self-sufficient when it comes to getting the sliding knockdown, right? You can use an assist, but you would want to save the assist for the follow-up mix-up, right? She's got great normals, you know, part of the screen control, great key blast. She has this as well. You know, you can use it to help you apply pressure, things like that, right? She has different ways to apply pressure. You can also use this as a baiting tool, things like that, right? Again, you have to play smart and reactive with this character. She's not a just hold forward and hope you get the hit character. You know, she was a little bit more ignorant when she had her level 3 Oki, but not so much anymore. Now it's not you get the hit and then you get looped by level 3s into dead, right? It's like, oh, she gets the hit, but now you still have a chance. Just keep in mind, if you like, I wouldn't even say she's too convoluted. Or remembering what skill goes to who is a little weird. But if you know what each race, each character is in Dragon Ball, it's not going to be that hard. The only confusing part is what steel goes to what motion, and then Goku is a human. He's an Earthling. He's considered an Earthling, except when he's fused with Vegeta or Gotenks, right? Because Goten, you know, human, right? But that's pretty much it. All-rounder, great screen control. She's a bad bitch, of course. First and foremost, got the stilettos. You need 2 brain cells to play her instead of 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm missing anything. Very strong. I don't know why people stopped playing her because she got 1 nerf. Yeah, let me know in the comments. I picked majin 21 because I saw it in the comments. So don't think the comments don't hold any influence. That's why I picked her. So, you know, please like, sub, comment, and tell me what character you want to see next. Because I am looking through the comments. That's why I picked it. Alright, later, y'all.